Yeah, time to eat some bread and cheese. Yeah, can you guys imagine? I'm so bad. I'm eating bread and I'm eating cheese and then I'm eating some honey and jam with it. Oh, I'm so bad. While I'm waiting for my yummy bread, so I'm gonna bake it. I bought it frozen and then I'm gonna put it in the oven and warm it up and eat this delicious goodness. And if you're on a diet, I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna talk about, and remember how I guys said in the video that I'm mad that I'm eating bread and cheese and all the sugar on top of it. So let's talk about stuff like this when we say to ourselves whether we bad or we good, or we label food as good and bad. And let's talk about consequences when we do that, right? Because everything we say is affecting our life. So if you didn't think about it before, now it's a good time. Now it's your wake up call where you start thinking, okay, if I'm saying bad or good, or if I give something meaning, probably it will be meaningful in your life, right? So let's start with number one, when people label food good or bad. And this is, I mean, I probably talk in many videos. You shouldn't be doing that because there's no really bad or good food. There's only food, which is fuel for your body, right? So, depending on the body, depending on your situation, depending on what your body needs, one food can be not so good for you or it can be good for you. So, even bread sometimes, right? And some people think, like, oh, it's a white death, or some people call it even scary, right? Similar to sugar, right? They call it white death or cocaine or something like this. So yes, right, it can be bad if you do it in very large quantities, or it can be bad if you're not listening to your body when you eat certain foods, right? So that's why I'm talking about intuitive eating, especially in my course and all my videos, because it's very important to know the distinction. Because sugar actually really good. The glucose from sugar, our brain needs it to to function, to live, to survive. So living without sugar completely is not a good idea, because your body will take it from somewhere else, and then it can be damaging for your body. So it's very important to not to give those distinctions to food, and especially when we give those distinctions to food, right? So let's say sugar is bad. And for some people it can be good. For people who are starving, for people who need food, or maybe in certain situations, right? If you're diabetic and if your blood sugar is very, very low, it can be dangerous as well, right? So it can be good. So we shouldn't be giving those distinctions to those foods. And when you constantly say this food is bad, this food is bad, this food is bad, this food is bad, what happens when you eat it? Because your subconscious is monitoring everything you say. So when you talk to yourself, when you say to yourself, this food is bad, is bad, is bad, you're constantly repeating, your subconscious is like, so this person, my body, my human is repeating that sugar is bad. So it means it's bad. So next time when we eat sugar, I need to create something, side effect maybe, or maybe, to process in a certain way to show that it's bad, right? Because if you keep constantly telling yourself it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, then eventually your brain's supposed to believe you, because you keep repeating, you keep kind of hypnotizing yourself, right? Repeating it over and over and over. And eventually your body believes it, and you never know how our subconscious works. We don't know how it works, but it's very, very powerful. So if you keep repeating something is bad for you, eventually, don't be surprised, it becomes bad for you and it gives you kind of side effects or something like this. So maybe we shouldn't label food. Maybe we should only do it in moderation, where if your body wants it, if your body needs it, you eat it, and if your body doesn't want it, doesn't need it, you don't eat it, right? It doesn't have to be either or. It's not the same like we live in society, right? There's no bad people or good people. They're people, and they're complicated and everything complicated. They can behave good in one situation and they can behave badly in another situation, and that means that My oven is ready, so let me put my bread in the oven, then I'll be back. Okay, so I put timer for 5 minutes and I'll keep talking. So I hope you guys get about food, right? So labeling food, and it can be good for one person, can be bad for another person. So the same with allergies, right? If someone is allergic to peanuts, maybe peanut butter is not a good food for them, so it's bad for them. But for other people, especially people who need nutrition or people that actually like this product, right, it brings vitamins, minerals, fats, so it's actually a good product. So we shouldn't be labeling food bad or good. Another point I wanted to make really quickly is about, when I remember at the beginning of the video, I said I'm bad, right? So people, a lot of people do that. They get used to talking to themselves in their mind, or maybe sometimes aloud, as I did right here. Sometimes I talk to myself a lot. So it's funny. I'm funny that way, I guess, right? So when you talk to yourself, just notice what you say to yourself, right? So if you keep repeating, like, if I eat bread, I'm bad, right? Or if you keep putting it in your in your wording, in your sentences. So what does it mean? And when we say I'm bad, I'm good, we're giving ourselves some, distinction, right? We're giving ourselves certain feelings, right? So when we say good, you imagine something good and uplifting, exciting, right? So something positive. And when we say bad, usually for our subconscious and in our world, right, it means something not good, something negative, something, very, very negative. So when you keep repeating to yourself, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, right? That's not good, all I can tell you. Because you keep reinforcing in your brain, in your subconscious mind, in your mind, that you are a bad person. And eventually what your subconscious does, because your subconscious is listening to you, if you keep repeating things over and over and over and over, what it's gonna do to you, it can happen in two ways. So basically, either you repeating you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, and then eventually your subconscious, okay, like, dude, you keep repeating the same thing over. I gotta create a situation where you feel bad, right? So our subconscious controls pretty much everything, our emotions, our hormones, everything in our body, and it can create a situation where you will feel bad after, right? So don't be surprised if later you keep repeating to yourself, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, and then you feel bad in certain situations, or you act in a way that you are not so proud of, right? Because your subconscious is listening, and it's like, okay, well, we weren't bad in all of these things, now I gotta create a situation that you gotta feel bad about, and you feel like you're a bad person, right? Or what can happen, and probably another example, and our subconscious is very creative, so those are two examples, but it can be probably something else, I don't know. That's what I've noticed in my life, in my experience, in my practice, right? So what else can happen is that when you eat a certain food, right? Let's say you eat bread and they say, oh, I eat bread with cheese, I'm bad, right? So you think probably that mixing food groups is not good, or whatever it is, there are different thoughts of, beliefs about food. So let's say you mix cheese and bread and you think that those two shouldn't go together, even though if you do intuitive eating, you can eat anything you want, anytime you want, and mix together, whatever. So it depends on your body. So let's say you did that, and then you're feeling like you shouldn't have done that. You start judging yourself and you're saying, okay, I'm bad, right? I've mixed all this too, I'm bad, I'm gonna be good next time. So what happens is, and it's actually very interesting, sometimes when you feel bad, let's say something happened and you got stressed out, or you feel something's going on negative, right? What your subconscious will do in order to create this feeling again, right? If you're not feeling it or reinforce it, it will bring you to the same situation. So let's say something happened, you already feel stressed out, and then your subconscious, okay, you already feel bad, so let's make it worse a little bit, right? Since you've been saying you're bad, you're bad, you're bad all the time, so you start craving bread and cheese, and you're already stressed out and like, hell with it, I'm gonna go eat bread and cheese, and and then after this you feel worse, you feel like, oh, you're really, really, really bad, right? So I think this is ready, so it's gonna keep beeping, so I'm gonna can really quickly stop it, and then so when you feel bad and when you feel like you need to punish yourself, what your mind might help you to do that, to punish yourself, is to eat food that you already said you're bad with, right? So let's say you're already feeling a little bit stressed, or in your subconscious, oh, let's make it worse, and like let's make you eat the bread, and you start craving it, because your subconscious is also responsible for your cravings. Your subconscious is controlling pretty much everything. So if you want to change your habits, if you want to change your eating routine, you got to work with your subconscious first. Then you can change diet, whatever it is, start intuitive eating if you follow my channel, probably that you're interested in. But number one thing you gotta start changing is your subconscious mind. Anyway, so that's a very interesting and creative ways our subconscious is working with us, even though it seems like it's kind of working against us. But if you see, our subconscious is very straight logical. So it's a simple logic. So if you keep repeating to yourself, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, your subconscious is like, okay, this human thinks that he, she, they, or whatever, they feel bad and they're a bad person. So let's create situations where they actually feel bad. So if they've been good before, we'll make it happen, So maybe you start overeating food that you shouldn't be eating, you don't feel like eating, but you suddenly start craving, and then you feel really bad after. It affects your whole body system or something, right? Those are the cravings because you were repeating to yourself over and over, over and over, over and over, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, I'm bad, even though you don't notice it, right? So when you go eat, and me sometimes too, I gave you this example, but I'm trying to track my thoughts and what am I saying. So as soon as I keep it, I'm like, as soon as I track it and I see like in my mind, I hear it like I'm bad, I'm like, no, that doesn't belong anywhere. I'm not bad, I'm not a bad person. I'm good no matter what I eat. I love and accept myself. And if you guys watching my channel, I repeat it everywhere. I love and accept myself no matter what. So I'm good, right? So whatever things come to your mind, negative things, you gotta change it over and switch it to good. Because if you keep repeating to yourself, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, eventually your brain will make you feel bad, and your brain listens to you. And don't complain later where, well, my subconscious is not listening to me. It does. If you keep repeating over and over and over and over and over that you're bad, it will make you feel bad. I'm sorry. I mean, that's what I've noticed in my life. And it makes sense because your body, your brain, your subconscious is taking care of you. So you gotta watch what you're saying. So let me know, guys, in the comments below if you like it, if you agree with me, if you notice in your life, or maybe you completely disagree and like, no, that's not true. Whatever I say doesn't matter. I still act in a different way. So just let me know in the comments below what you think, and if it made you think about what you say and what you do in life, right? How it correlates, and made you think about subconscious. And also I'm gonna link some videos below about how our subconscious works, how we can reprogram it, so to start you off, to make you think about all of these things. So I hope you liked it. Hit like, subscribe, and I'm gonna get to my very delicious bread with my very delicious cheese, and it's very hot, so I'm trying to cut it, and it's very hot and yummy and crusty. Oh, it's amazing. So if you guys don't eat bread, maybe you shouldn't watch it. Okay, and now I'll see you guys in the next video.